You should not be selling organs. If someone wants to buy your kidney, you could sell it to them. Do you support that, yes or no?
Mehdi Hasan interviewing Diana Mondino, former minister to Javier Milei, current president of Argentina. And this is a pretty epic scene here. Let's go ahead and watch and react.
Okay, but that's correct.
I do want to get to your views. Okay. You dodged my question about libertarianism and Milei's views.
No, I believe in liberal governments. I'm not.
And you do agree with Milei on a lot of stuff, because, for example, he promoted this idea of an organ market, of buying and selling human body parts. You call that idea fantastic. How is it fantastic or even ethical to bring money and markets into organ donation?
Ask the Nobel Award people that got that idea.
Which Nobel Prize winner was that?
Alvin Roth.
Alvin Roth. Yeah, so we reached out to Alvin Roth before this show, and he said his scheme has nothing to do with what Milei is proposing. He doesn't think that at all.
Maybe the phrase, it's either misquoted, I don't know the phrase. Definitely, I don't know the phrase.
He proposed a global kidney exchange where people could find...
It is working in Argentina. We do have a law.
Milei wants people to sell organs, and you know very well that just ends up with poor people having to sell their organs to rich people. Why would you do that?
We have a long-standing law that allows to exchange organs from one person. You need a kidney transport. Maybe your wife cannot or will not give you a kidney.
But not for money, Diana. You should not be selling organs. You know very well that leads to poor people and poor countries.
I'm only defending the law that we already have in Argentina. And actually we have a law called Ley Justina that allows for people to exchange organs in a very different way, meaning that it's
you disagree with Milei on organ sales?
Come on, you have to, not selling, it's allowing...
But Milei wants to sell organs. He says, I would repeal the ban on organ sales. You have your daughter about to die, she needs to pay for an operation, someone wants to buy your kidney, you could sell it to them. Do you support that, yes or no?
I have been through 2 or 3 different very personal situations where people had to go through a kidney transplant. One of them was a heart transplant. That was Justina, whose dad was my student. Okay. And they prepared the law, and there's no money.
I'm going to have to ask you to answer the question.
There's no money, as far as I know, included into that. If someone is doing something behind the lines, I am not aware of it.
Do you agree with Milei saying you should be able to sell your kidney, yes or no?
Me, I don't agree with that.
Okay, we got there in the end. Let's go to our panel of experts who are...
because you're twisting the argument.
I'm not... I read out his words. How am I twisting? I'll read it. Do you want me to read it one more time?
No, it's going to get boring. Come on.
All right.
She doesn't want to go there anymore. It's just a good example of the absurdity to which, if you take pure libertarianism and you stretch it to its extreme, then you get into some pretty dystopic things. Pure capitalism in its most distilled form is pretty creepy when you get down to it. If you just want to turn everything into a market, everything into a capitalistic exchange, then you could have a situation where you have an open market for organs, and that is a really dystopian situation. Obviously, in that scenario, if you are rich, if you can afford it, you can go onto the market and you can buy, an organ or whatever to save someone's life. If you're poor, you'd be left out of the equation, and actually, more so, you would be being preyed upon in this, capitalistic predatory system, where if you fall into hard times, well, then you might end up, feeling incentivized to sell your organ on this, in this dystopian market. So pretty wacky idea. Again, Javier Milei is just one of these ideologues. He's into that kind of stuff. What can you say? This is not hyperbole. I mean, he has also proposed closing state-owned businesses, shuttering a number of government ministries, and he made headlines when he floated legalizing the sale of human organs. So this is from before that election there. So just, pretty wacky stuff you have there. Javier Milei. Let me know what you guys think about that particular topic. Should you be able to sell your organs on the open market? I don't know. You tell me.